The Game Boy Advance might be old, but fans just won't let it die. ROMHACKS have completely reignited the GBA scene, giving us wild new levels, insane storylines, and reimagined classics that put the originals to shame. The retro GBA scene is straight up unstoppable. And today we're counting down the absolute craziest, most legendary ROMHACKS ever cooked up for this little handheld powerhouse. Seriously, some of these fan projects are so wild, they'll make you wonder why the originals didn't go this hard. Whether you're a battle veteran or just getting into ROM hacking, this list is packed with next-level remixes and creative spins that'll blow your mind. Hit that like, subscribe button if you're new, and let's jump into the best GBA ROM hacks ever made. Fire Emblem Vision Quest. Vision Quest totally rewrites what you'd expect from a GBA Fire Emblem. You're not dropped into a world of knights and dragons just to save a princess. Here it feels like you're running with a living, breathing crew who actually matters. The story is built from the ground up, following a farm kid who does his own thing and just keeps getting pulled deeper into the chaos. The scale is nuts. Dozens of recruitable characters, over 40 beefy chapters, plus special missions, and plot twists that actually hurt. The thing that gives this hack hype is the freedom it hands to the player. Random units totally pop thanks to personality, and you've got more choices than you'll know what to do with. You'll be funking around with classes, units, and wild tactics in battles where every move feels huge. Fans can't stop talking about the original writing and those legendary maps. For anyone who's burnt out on vanilla FE, this hack honestly feels like discovering the series all over again. Metroid Desolation. Metroid fans are in for an adrenaline rush when they boot up Desolation. The whole hack lands with this moody, atmospheric vibe you usually only get in the best official Metroid titles. Right out the gate, it's clear the dev poured a ton of love into the details. The sound design is eerie as hell. The lighting looks amazing for a GBA hack, and there's a ton of secrets lurking in every corner. It's not just the usual backtrack and blast deal either. Desolation tweaks the formula with new weapons and some clever puzzles that'll make even seasoned Samus pros raise an eyebrow. Gamers keep hyping this one up because it's tough without being cheap, always giving you that classic sense of I need to check just one more corridor. It feels like the Metroid game you wish you got as a kid, cranked up to 11 with new ideas. If you love Metroidvania games and pixel-perfect platforming, this is straight-up must-play material. Doom, GBA, PC Doom, total conversion. So, bringing OG Doom onto the GBA and giving it that full-fat PC experience, that's just pure chaos. This isn't like most demakes or janky ports. This hack runs like you remember from the classic PC days, almost as if someone stuffed the original Doom disc into your handheld. The controls are responsive, the metal soundtrack rocks, and you're mowing down Hellspawn with chunky, satisfying blasts. What's wild is how smooth the hack feels on old hardware, handling tons of monsters and big levels without a hitch. The modder community blows this thing up because it really delivers the nostalgia. But without all the muddy graphics and weird slowdown you get in other portable versions. For retro FPS lovers, it's like reliving the glory days, except now it fits in your pocket. If you want to flex your GBA and stun your friends, this ROM hack is the ultimate brag. F-Zero Vintage Velocity. To be honest, Vintage Velocity wants to fry your reflexes and then laugh while you try to keep up. The racing feels pure, old-school F-Zero, but somehow even faster, thanks to new tracks and insane remixes that keep you slamming into walls on purpose just to see what wild shortcut you missed. The hack dials up the action with slick new visuals and sound effects that make everything explosive, even for a GBA. What's got players hyped is how much it caters to GBA speedsters who want legit challenge. not just casual laps, so you get razor-sharp turns, smart hazards, and unlocks that reward you for mastering every inch of every map. Gamers say the drift and boost system feels tighter than most modern racing games, with a learning curve that crushes you in a good way. No hand-holding here. If you want that endorphin rush from sticking the perfect race, this is the hack to fire up. Mario Kart R Advance. Okay, Mario Kart R Advance doesn't care about nostalgia. It wants to slap you awake with wild new ideas. Everything's been remixed here. Tracks twist into fresh shapes, item balance is shaken up, so every race feels unpredictable, and those GBA pixels have never looked so colourful. Fans keep raving about genuine surprise. The hazards, shortcuts, and race strategies actually keep you guessing, even if you thought you'd seen everything in Mario Kart. What's awesome is that multiplayer battles have cranked up the rivalry factor to the max. It's the kind of game where you want to yell at your screen, high-five your friends, or both at once. Advanced AI means you can't just coast to the finish, and there are secrets the community's still uncovering months after release. This hacks an adrenaline shot straight to the zone-out part of your brain. Any GBA racing fan owes it to themselves to give it a run. Pokémon Unbound. Unbound is where the Pokémon ROMHACK bar got raised way higher than anyone expected. The new region is massive, packed with hidden areas and side quests galore. Honestly, a lot of fans say it even blows some official games out of the water. The graphics and soundtrack are bigger and bolder, with day-night cycles, weather, and that whoa, I didn't know GBA could do that energy. But it's the custom story and insane difficulty options that make it addictive for hardcore trainers and newbies alike. This isn't just about filling up a new Pokédex. Unbound throws new mechanics, epic battles, and even online features at you like it's showing off. The hype is real, because everyone comes away with their own weird story, some epic clutch battle, some tough puzzle, or a team built around their favourite weird creatures. If you want a Mon journey that feels fresh but keeps the vibes classic, Unbound nails it. Metroid Fusion Special Edition. It is basically comfort food for longtime Metroid fans, except way spicier. The hack polishes up everything that made Fusion classic. New colour palettes, sound tweaks, and even some gameplay rebalances for smoother runs. What stands out is how small changes add up. Navigation just clicks, secrets are better placed, and bosses feel tougher in all the right ways. The cool thing is that it's still 100% the game you remember, just with all the dials turned up and rough edges sanded off. So you get the nostalgia trip, plus a bunch of "wait, was that always there?" moments. People hype it up because it fits all sorts of playstyles. Speedrunners, casual explorers, and Easter egg hunters all get something extra to chew on. For anyone who already loves Fusion, this hack has become the definitive way to revisit the classic without any of the old baggage. Castlevania Aria of Sorrow Reprise. Moving into Aria of Sorrow Reprise feels like discovering a totally new side of this fan-favourite Castlevania. Instead of running through the same hallways, players get a wild roguelike twist. This hack randomises the entire castle, so every run is a surprise, and no two playthroughs are the same. It's all about exploring weird new rooms, tracking down wild weapon combos, and fighting bosses that show up when you least expect it. The replay value is straight up infinite, with tons of gear and soul setups to mess with every time. Hardcore Castlevania fans can't shut up about how fresh it makes the grind, tossing in challenge, atmosphere, and try one more time vibes that just don't exist in the base game. From totally remixed layouts to crazy procedurally generated secrets, Reprise keeps you on your toes, always curious about what the castle will throw at you next. For anyone who loves Aria or just wants a shot of pure replay chaos, this hack's an instant favourite. Sonic Advance 2 SP. Sonic Advance 2 SP is for all those fans who felt the original was a bit too harsh, especially with gotcha pits and enemy spam that ruined perfect runs. This hack totally smoothens out the spikes in difficulty, fixing a lot of janky level design and making enemy placements way less unfair. Now, if you've got quick reflexes, it actually feels like you're being rewarded for speed and style, not just punished for exploring. Special stages are way more fun to get into, since you only need 5 rings, not 7, and the alternate pathways let every player carve out their own route. What's cool is that the bosses and core challenge still feel super legit, so speedrunners are loving it. Casual players get less rage, and the whole package feels just a little more friendly without losing the edge. Really, Sonic Advance 2 SP feels like a fan's love letter. It spotlights what everyone adored while patching up what drove folks nuts. Pokémon Radical Red. Alright, Radical Red isn't just another hard mode. It feels like Pokémon for pros who want their brains melted and strategies tested to the max. Battles crank the difficulty up with gym leaders rocking perfect IVs, competitive teams, and AI that'll straight up body you if you're unprepared. On top of that, Radical Red pulls in Pokémon, moves, and abilities up to Gen 9. Stuff you'd never dream of seeing on the GBA. Features like Mega Evolution, Dynamax, and raid-style boss battles totally explode the usual Fire Red formula. Hardcore Nuzlockers have turned this hack into a rite of passage, with run-specific rule sets and modes that keep even veteran players sweating bullets. The hype lives in that sense of accomplishment. Beating a gym feels legendary, and every catch or clutch win really matters. Radical Red is that rare hack where the challenge is exactly what keeps players grinding for more. A more modern nightmare in Dreamland. Take everything you remember loving about Nightmare in Dreamland and jack it up. This hack absolutely drenches itself in quality of life upgrades and modern design tweaks. Gone are those slightly awkward controls and old GBA quirks. Now, it's all about fast-paced movement, sharper visuals, smoother mechanics, and hidden secrets tucked in spots that'll have long-time fans doing double takes. The music and graphics both got a glow-up, but it's the new level tweaks and smarter enemy placements that feel just right for today's players. Every stage pops with colour and imagination, making it as fun to show your friends as it is to speedrun solo. People hype this hack because it gives you the best parts of the original game with modern upgrades, sort of like Nintendo brought the whole thing back and remastered it with love. For anyone who misses the wild energy of Kirby but craves a slick current experience, this is the perfect upgrade. Advance Wars R. Advance Wars R is that ultimate for the fans by the fans experience the strategy crowd has been crying out for. It takes all the classic Advance Wars tactics and injects new maps, commander tweaks, fancy units, and a balancing patch that's actually worth your time. The maps feel way more fair now, with smarter terrain use and challenges that don't wreck you just for trying something wild. Hardcore players talk up the AI, way less predictable, crafty, and willing to pull cheap tricks, which totally keeps you guessing. There's also a ton of subtle additions like quality of life cheats, fresh music, and even expanded story scenarios that build on the original lore. It's the kind of hack where old pros find stuff to geek out over, but even new players can jump in and start plotting their way to sweet victories. Basically, this one's a must for anyone who grew up with Advance Wars or just digs top-down tactics. Pokémon Gaia. Pokémon Gaia is the kind of hack that sneaks up on you and suddenly takes over your best of list. This fan game is set in a brand new region, the Orbtus, with tight storylines and surprises in every city and route. It's got a real adventure vibe, featuring fresh puzzles and side quests you'd never expect on the GBA. The graphics got a total overhaul with Gen 4 sprites, which gives everything a shiny, new school look, and the music swaps keep your head bobbing the whole time. What sets Gaia apart is its blend of challenge and exploration. Bosses will test your skills, but story stuff and new forms make the journey just as cool as the destination. Friends keep passing this one along because everyone finds something different to geek out about, whether it's the events, the hidden items, or just collecting all the wild Pokémon. If you want a journey that feels classic, yet full of firsts, Gaia's the way to roll. Golden Sun Dawn of Djinn. Golden Sun Dawn of Djinn is pure catnip for fans, hungry for a fresh spin on Camelot's RPG masterpiece. This hack reworks dungeons, bosses, and the Djinn system so they actually demand some tactical thought, say goodbye to just spam synergy. The new encounters are balanced for smarter party building, and item placements are shuffled, meaning you'll have to keep your strategy nimble just to survive. What people really love is the expanded lore and secret bonus bosses that reward those who poke around every inch of the world. Even little stuff like better menus, new animations, and a couple of plot twists really build on the classic vibe. Golden Sun lovers keep pushing newcomers to try this one, mostly for the thrill of not knowing what's around the next turn. For anyone wanting to revisit Wired or just flex their puzzle muscles, this is the hack that brings the sparkle back to one of GBA's greatest adventures. Super Mario Advance 2 Return to Dinosaurland. This hack feels like a secret level stashed away in your favorite childhood cartridge. Super Mario Advance 2 Return to Dinosaurland gives the GBA version some serious love, remixing the first 6 levels and the intro cutscene to surprise even old-school Mario lovers. Everything clicks with a mix of nostalgia and fresh design. The little tweaks, new platforming challenges, and the way the colours pop feel like a power-up, not just a simple update. Cool part, it also plays real nice with other hacks to restore classic GBA colour and music, so things sound and look just right. Gamers who thought the SNES got all the fun are finally seeing the GBA version get its due. You'll blaze through the revamped levels and still want to double back just to spot all the clever changes. It's pure platforming fun, sending you back to Dinosaurland with new energy and showing the GBA community is nowhere near done yet. Pokémon Glazed. Anyone dropping into Pokémon Glazed is in for one of the most epic hacks ever tackled. This thing is massive. You start in the brand new Tunod region, but the journey soon crosses over into Johto and Rancor too, with a tight story full of mysterious trainers, an actual plot twist involving 2 worlds nearly colliding, and a vengeful Pikachu with a scarf. You get to catch monsters up to Generation 5, hit up Mega Evolutions, discover alternative forms, and yes, legendaries for days. What really wins people over is the sense of scale. With day-night cycles, dozens of fresh side quests, 3 continents, and puzzles that actually make you pause and think, Glazed isn't just a hack, it's an adventure. The fanbase keeps this title cooking with their wild team builds and community challenges. If you ever wanted a Pokémon game that just never seems to run out of stuff to explore, this is it. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced Battle. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced Battle is straight up built for monster fans and folks hungry for a new spin on GBA strategy. Here, monster taming isn't just a random extra, it's the entire point. You capture wild creatures with special items, train up their skills, and go into battle with a party that feels anything but ordinary. No more recruiting generic humans. Now it's all about building a monster squad and using battle-earned points to unlock killer new abilities. People rave about how the whole system gets a fresh layer of tactical depth, turning each skirmish into a new kind of puzzle. The hack makes finishing every map feel possible, but never easy. It's all about learning your team and flexing cool combos. Anybody who geeked out for strategy RPGs will get pulled in by this new level of challenge, even if you thought you'd mastered the original. Doom GBA Delta Episode 1. Doom GBA Delta Episode 1 is one for the hardcore. Think of it as a big what if answered for ID Software fans on the go. This hack drops a brand new episode full of wild new maps, unique enemy placements, and tricky secrets tucked away in every dark corner. What actually hits hard is the imagination the modder poured in. There's new sprite work, level gimmicks you'd never expect, and a vibe that's way creepier and more intense than most vanilla levels. Controls are tight, music's got that chiptune bite, and whenever you wipe a room full of monsters, you just want to keep pushing forward for the next run-in. The hype around Doom GBA Delta is all about the freshness. It pushes what the GBA can do and delivers that old-school adrenaline rush straight to your hands. If you love blasting through hell on a tiny screen, this one hits different. Mother 3 Fan Translation. Ask any RPG-loving gamer about legendary GBA moments, and Mother 3's fan translation is always in the mix. It's the sheer love and energy poured in by hardcore fans who waited years for something official, only to take the challenge themselves. Every moment, every line, and every weird pun lands just right, so you get the full emotional story. The script is packed with jokes, heartbreak, and quirky dialogue. It'll make you laugh, cry, and stare at your GBA in disbelief. For years, the translation patch has been the gold standard for what fan passion can pull off, letting everyone outside Japan finally experience one of the quirkiest, most moving games on the platform. Whether you're obsessed with turn-based battles or just after an RPG that hits different, this fan translation keeps the magic alive and honestly sets the bar for what translation projects can do. Pokémon Emerald Kaizo. Pokémon Emerald Kaizo is where battling gets brutal, and only the toughest make it out alive. This isn't a hack for people who just want to breeze through the Hoenn region. This is a badge of honor. Trainers, gym leaders, and the Elite Four will wipe you in seconds if you're not on your game. What fans love is how every battle forces creative team building, crazy grinding, and studying enemy movesets just to survive. No over-leveling your way through the story here. This one tests your knowledge of mechanics, AI, and type matchups at every turn. Hardcore nuzlockers, speedrunners, and anybody who shows up wanting a real challenge rally around Kaizo for its perfect mix of frustration and pride. Crushing a gym you failed at 10 times just feels awesome. If you want to join the Beaten Emerald Kaizo Club, start prepping your squad. You'll need every trick you've got. Breath of Fire improved. Take a classic, sprinkle in quality of life perks, and you've got Breath of Fire improved. This hack doesn't overhaul everything, but it brings out the best by smoothing combat, rebalancing characters, and fixing all the little annoyances that kept older RPGs from feeling perfect. The palette pops more like the SNES version, music has a cleaner vibe, and the new translation clears up story beats that older fans maybe missed. What has long-time fans hyped is the snappier fights and pacing. No more slog-through menus or weird stat balancing. Just a pure JRPG experience you can really sink into today. If you loved the original or just want to see why Breath of Fire became a big deal, this is the version most players say you should start with. Pokémon Ash Gray. Pokémon Ash Gray lets you live out every Kanto anime fantasy you ever had. This is the Ash's Journey game people always wished for. You start off with Pikachu and get swept into the classic Indigo League saga, including all the show's iconic moments, weird side adventures, and even some off-the-wall challenges straight from the cartoon. Instead of the usual game routes, you're actually following Ash's steps, catching the same Pokémon and running into familiar faces in every episode-inspired bit of the map. Fans love how the hack doesn't just drop anime skin on top. It changes maze layouts, adds new story beats, and even restricts Ash to never evolving Pikachu for true authenticity. If you ever re-watched the anime and wished you could jump in, this is the nostalgic journey that scratches that itch perfectly. Golden Sun Lost Age Reloaded. Golden Sun Lost Age Reloaded is a prize for players who want their adventure supersized. It's not just about new dungeons and updated sprite work. This hack drags deep into the hidden mechanics, reshuffles the bestiary, reworks abilities, and polishes the pacing so the game feels fresh from start to finish. Fans keep calling out little surprises. Maps going in new directions, story moments that hit harder, and puzzles that make you double back to see what you missed. More Djinn to hunt, more gear to chase, and just smarter difficulty bumps across the board. Newcomers rave about the balance, but old-school fans know it's the subtle upgrades that keep the journey exciting. Lost Age. Reloaded is now considered by many the definitive Golden Sun GBA experience, with just enough new spice to keep veterans exploring every corner. Castlevania Hod Revenge of the Findesiecle. Here's a hack that straight up oozes Halloween energy. Castlevania Hod. Revenge of the Findesiecle throws you into new levels with all the gothic flair and monster-slaying mayhem harmony of dissonance fans could want. The layouts get wild, enemies are nastier, and the bosses have that extra bite to keep you on edge. The coolest thing, it's all about remixing everything, the music, visuals, secrets, and platforming, so nothing feels predictable run after run. Fans of classic Castlevania love the creative new challenge. Every stage feels like a never-ending haunted gauntlet, and the difficulty means you'll be wanting to practice your jumps before diving in. For those who miss the grittier tone of old-school Castlevania, this hack ramps up the atmosphere and keeps you grinding for more. Pokémon Light Platinum. Pokémon Light Platinum stands tall as one of the most ambitious fan-made adventures you can play. 2 full regions, new gyms, and a pile of legendary Pokémon show up faster than you can say Elite Four. The graphics shine like a later gen release. Music has its own catchy vibe, and everything you need for a true Pokémon marathon is here. Epic tournaments, a fresh plot, and more rivals than you'll know what to do with. Trainers love that it feels like a totally original game, and not just a fire red clone. Events crop up at every corner of the region, and there are special tournaments and battle challenges to test your skills at every stage. For both franchise rookies and die-hard collectors, Light Platinum's depth and sheer content have kept it near the top of fan rankings for years. That's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let everyone know your favorite GBA ROM hacks in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more epic retro gaming lists, deep dives, and wild recommendations. This community is all about old school energy and new discoveries, so keep those classic handhelds fired up and stay tuned for more awesome videos coming soon.